It is great to have Janusz here from Snowdog. Snowdog is a company that I have tremendous admiration for, does some incredible work, very innovative. I'm always out there at the front of just every e-commerce initiative. And today we have the privilege of talking to Janusz about his experience with becoming Magento certified. So this is really exciting because he is someone that worked through this certification challenge and has passed the test. And so I'm excited to be able to bring his knowledge and his experience to you and how you can learn from it and hopefully also become certified yourself. So Janusz, welcome. So maybe you can share a little bit about what prompted you to become JavaScript developer certified.
I already had two Magento front-end certification from Magento 1 and Magento 2. Okay. And I really didn't think about getting next one. Mm-hmm. But then I saw you tweet about Magento certification challenge, and I thought it's a really great idea. So I answered, I accept the challenge. And from that point, there was no way back. I had to try.
And you did it. You did it. Good for you. Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. So I know there's a lot of resources out there to become, as far as trying to define what information is needed to be known on the test, So obviously, as you're going to take this test, say, okay, I want to become JavaScript certified, but it's another thing to actually know what is on the test, and then how you prepare for that is obviously comes from trying to know what's on the test. Can you walk me through what steps you took in this process of becoming certified? Like what from saying that you're accepted the challenge with your tweet to now be to the day before you took your certification, what were those steps that you took in order to become certified?
Yeah, sure. So first, I checked the official Magento study guide for JavaScript exam, because there we get the scope of the exam. You can see what is required to pass it, but the document itself has a little information. So then I've actually followed the path from my previous preparation to previous exams. I bought a Swift Author Guide because it has almost the same structure like official guide, but much more information. So you can easily see what kind of topics you are already well prepared because of your experience, and perhaps what area you need to study more, you need to practice because you didn't have chance to work on it. So these two documents, I think, was my first two steps. But then when I was studying, I was dipping more about some concept about Knockout.js UI components. I tried to match to.tv subscription and to see some great videos from Vinay.
Yes,
so it was really helpful. I recommend. Then also Adobe give us nice gift, free access to Magento on-demand courses, and the course about JavaScript is also really good. It covers almost everything what you can expect on this exam, so I recommend it as well. I also use official DevTalks and documentation, mainly to check, for example, the widgets, the option, and so on, especially the things that I don't use in the projects, and they are necessary to know if you want to pass exam. So it was also a good resource. Then, of course, hands-on approach, having local instance of Magento and trying to do some exercise, some code, and so on. Again, especially the things that you don't work on your projects on daily basis, so you can memorize it better if you are doing some things. And at the end, of course, it's good to have experience. Thankfully, at Snowdog, we work on at Magento 2 projects from really on, and doing some customization on checkout also helped me a lot.
Oh yes, definitely. That's great. Yeah, that's good. I like. Well, again, I just definitely underscore your mention of Vinay Kopp's that Mage2TV. That's his material is incredible. It's obvious. It's well documented. And one thing that was really eye-opening to me when I went through it a while ago was how, we see UI components and they're like these massive long files usually, and we're trying to parse it out or like the UI component JavaScript file, how does this work and all that? But he literally, this was so enlightening to me. He broke it down to like the smallest JavaScript file. I mean, I think it was about that tall. And with that, he was able to build out, and it kind of takes all the extra cruft away. And it was really helpful for me. So that was really neat. What would you say was one thing that you learned about Magento or some of these things that you were studying through your preparation, through your study, as a result of the study? And I often talk about, I'm sure you heard me say this in some of our challenge meetings, that knowledge is the biggest value that you gain from this study, this in the certification. The certification is nice, but the knowledge is at least worth 10 times more. Can you share with those who are going to be watching this video, maybe a couple of things that you learned as a result of your studies here?
Yeah, sure. For sure, there was few things like that. For example, how to create custom binding for Nocl.js. It's kind of easy, but I didn't know that I can actually do it and how to do it before. But it's kind of nice thing to know. I'm not sure if I will use it on project, but it shows you how many things are inside Magento already and how much things you really can do if you want. Right. Also, I think part about UI components related to admin area that I hadn't had before experience in that area. So there, of course, how things works and so on. I learned a lot.
Very nice. That's good. All right. So we talked about the preparation for the test and what you learned, what you got out of that. But let's now jump to the day of the test. Did you go into the test feeling confident, prepared, or were you still a little bit unsure about, how this was all going to play out?
I was pretty confident. Okay. I knew that I will pass. Maybe I wasn't sure on which level. I wanted a good score to get. So maybe this was making me a little nervous about what question I can expect. Maybe there will be some tricky question and I will maybe pass, maybe not. But generally, I was prepared. So when you are prepared, then you are more confident. I think this approach to taking any exam, it's important one. Even if you go to, job interview, if you are prepared, it's much easier later. So it was, I think, kind of easy, but still exam and the question surprised me a little, but they were practical, and I think the exam overall was really good.
Very good. Can you share what you thought was the most difficult part of the exam? And obviously, we can't talk about specific questions, but maybe some concepts, some ideas, some, making it a little more generic. But what would you say would be some of what was there a time, I guess, even on the test that you thought, wow, this is really, really difficult? So maybe you can speak to some of that.
I think one type of questions are the one about syntax, like they give you different answer. The syntax is very similar, and normally when you work, you can easily check. Right. But then you're thinking twice. Is really the first answer I marked the correct one or no? So this kind of questions, I think, are always tricky in any exam. But another part of question, I think, was from UI components, especially related to admin area, because I think in this area I had the less experience. Right. And I got there the less score. I got 85% there in that area. So I think that's a very terrible score, 85%. Yeah. I say that. Yeah, I say that tongue in cheek because that's really good. Good for you. But generally, I think also this question for me were the most difficult because of my lack of experience there.
Well, and I think that's the reality. It seems like what I see quite regularly is most people who go for a test have about 70% of the knowledge to pass. It's just that and that's what they're doing day to day. So maybe you're not working with admin stuff, but maybe it sounds like you're working a lot more with checkout stuff. But for someone like me, I'm not doing as much checkout. It's more admin stuff. So there's always going to be those things that we're just not doing as much on our day to day work, and that's especially the areas I think we have to focus on. But it sounds like you did, and you did well.
Yeah, exactly.
Congratulations. Yeah. English as a first language, is English your first language or no?
No, second language.
So, I want to encourage people all over the world. So you got an incredibly good score on your test, and English is not your first language. So, do you have any suggestions for others where English is not their first language, and things that maybe helped you in that process? Do you have any suggestions or any things that did help you in studying to prepare to get such a great score on this test, even though English is not your first language?
I think talking about English skills, I think it's important to practice. In Poland, when I wanted to improve my English skills, I tried to talk with my friends. And even we walk on the streets and we talk English. And some people were thinking, oh, it's crazy, you will learn bad stuff because they are not native speakers. But on the other hand, if you have exposure to English, like at the work and so on, you're reading articles, then you need to practice. Okay. So I think it's really important to every day try to practice. And that's what I'm trying to do always.
Well, I'll tell you what, your English is excellent. So very, very good in that way, especially. So certainly better than any other language that I speak, and which would be a maximum of 1, and I can hardly even speak Spanish. So that's really outstanding. So Janusz, thank you so much for coming on, sharing your experiences. I know they will be inspiring to others, and I look forward to the opportunity to be able to let everyone in on some of your thoughts and suggestions on how to become Magento certified. So thank you.
Thank you as well. And good luck for everyone who will take the exam.
Very good. All right.